Well, this is my second motorhome video tour. We sold the 1998 Winnebago Minnie and bought a new Itasca Spirit 25B, which is the same pretty much as the Winnebago Minnie Winnie 25B. They're both made by Winnebago, and from the start of the video, I wanted to explain that we've been on the road for 2 months in Florida, so the motorhome's not cleaned up pristine right now because there's 4 of us. You won't see any flowers on the dinette table or placemats, and I'm going to try and cover the pros and cons of this Itasca 25B and also some upgrades we made. So we are from Alaska, and we did drive it to Georgia in the last fall in 2016. We bought it in Alaska, and we're currently touring Florida with 4 people, myself and my wife Willeen, and our 2 children, Sharon and Craig, our adult children. And the motorhome is equipped with a 5.4 liter V8 and a 5-speed automatic transmission with it also has tow haul mode, and it's on a Ford E350 chassis. And I would have preferred a Ford E450 chassis, as we would have had 2,000 more pounds of weight carrying capacity. As it is, a lot of times we're just a little bit over our gross vehicle weight rating. Not too much, but a little bit. So we'll look at some of the compartments on the outside of the motorhome now. Okay, so it's got optional mirrors, side mirrors. They're heated, and then they have the cameras, the side cameras that are functional when you turn on your turn signal, which helps you sometimes for not running up on a curb or to see a little bit better. And this is the small storage compartment. We keep a couple of hoses in there, and some little runner for putting outside the door, and little assortment of stuff. Got a bottle jack in there, 20-ton bottle jack, which I'll probably never use because we got roadside assistance. And there's some gloves in there for when we dump our sewage tanks and gray and black water. And there's a hatchet in there for cutting firewood, and a small folding shovel. And then also there's some 2x6 wood blocks in there. It doesn't have the automatic leveler, so we just use 2x6s if we need to level it a little bit, run it up on that. Okay, so it's got the dual pane windows, and so it's actually got the winter package. And there's the awning, and it's motorized, and it's got a LED light bar on it that lights up the campsite pretty well, and the light bar works even when the awning's not deployed. Okay. They're doing a little work here. We're in a day park area near a beach on Little Talbot Island, so that background noise I apologize for, but we'll just continue on with the video tour. And That there is the where the back side of the refrigerator is, and the tires that it came with are Michelin tires, and I had to realign the front end. It wasn't in good alignment when we bought it, and I've also added a steering stabilizer, which helps out in the crosswinds quite a bit. And oh, and I apologize too for my pauses. I'm not a professional speaker. I'm just a motorhome owner, so don't expect my communication to be as good as if you were watching a video by a salesman, because it's just not going to happen. And I did delete quite a few hateful comments on my last video that about that, and I make no apology for it. I'm not a professional speaker. Okay. Okay, over here is where the tank fill is, which is unusual because it's on the opposite side most motorhomes is, but we have a 35-foot hose and it's not really a problem. And here is a cable jack. It's got one on each side, and this one could be used for an outdoor TV if you wanted to, or you can actually hook up to it at a campground either side and get cable TV reception. Okay, so this is the door for the biggest storage compartment. Okay, so it's we've got a lot in it because we got 4 people and we're on a big trip. All our laundry's in it. There's a spare tire in there, beach stuff, my tools, and it's accessible from the back as well as this side. And we'll go around the back now. We'll just leave that open for now. I'll step back a little bit so you can see the coach a little bit better. That's got a light in there. You could actually put make yourself a trap door, and then you could access some pump and plumbing, which is under the bed, through that accessible wall there where the light is. Some people have done that with these, and I haven't felt it necessary yet, but I might. And there's a backup camera, and this is the other side of the compartment. We have a couple chairs that my family's using on the beach right now that go there, and my little Weber grill is tucked under there, and that cooler there holds stuff that I use for the grill, gas bottles and stuff. And we got a lot of laundry in there, and there's a tote in there with a bunch of miscellaneous stuff and souvenirs and stuff that people have collected on the way. It's got a receiver hitch that can tow up to 5,000 pounds, so that's a 5,000 pound vehicle if you want to tow it, which is not part of the GVWR, but is extra. It is within the limitations of the motorhome. And let's see, we got a black tank flush, and currently it's clogged or the check valve's bad, so I have to address that. The motorhome's still under warranty, and we've had several warranty issues addressed, both in Anchorage, Alaska at the dealer, and also we stopped on the way at Forest City, Iowa, where the Winnebago factory is, and had some other warranty issues addressed. And when you get a new motorhome these days, even though they may be a very, very good and high quality, they have to build them pretty quickly, so you may have some warranty issues you need to address, and you likely will within that first 15 months or 15,000 miles of the bumper-to-bumper warranty. Then there's an additional warranty on the structure. I think it's 3 years, and I believe it's 5 years, 60,000 miles on the Ford chassis. And here's where the other cable connection is, and this is the city fill. I've got a plug in it now because when I was de-winterizing the motorhome and pressing in on the check valve to expel the little bit of antifreeze that was in it, the check valve no longer functioned after that, and so we've been having to plug the city fill when we use the pump or after we get done using the campground water. And right here is the back of the furnace, and intake air and exhaust air, and over here is the water heater, and down here is where the electrical shoreline goes, and it's got a pretty good sized cavity, and I've got a it's 30 amp, and I've got a 20 amp adapter there, and my TV cable is there. And down here, I won't show that to you, but that's where the propane tank is, and I'll explain stuff about the monitoring system when we get inside, but the propane is part of it. And over here is a 4 kW Onan generator, and we just changed the oil in it and on the coach too while we were in Florida, right around the time the 50-hour break-in period was over. And I'll back up so you can see this side of the coach a little better. It's got some nice running boards, stainless steel running boards. It's got a front cap on there that's not standard, that can help with the common problem where overhead Class C's, the overhead compartment in a lot of them can leak over time, and besides keeping it when we're in Georgia under a carport, that'll do a lot to help that from happening, as long as we keep our seals up. And so, okay, we'll come back around here. Oh, by the way, this is 2016 is the last year you're going to see the Itasca name on Winnebago. They're phasing out the name. They'll still have the Spirit and the Mini Winnie, but you'll no longer see Itasca on the RV. You'll see Winnebago only. So we'll go inside. My dog's in there, so I hope she doesn't bark too much while we're giving the tour. Okay, this is the inside, and I'll back up a little bit and to show you the whole front part. There's a overhead compartment where there's a queen-size bed and a TV up there that can swivel out into the living room, and there's a dinette table, and a jackknife couch, and they're both supposed to sleep too, but they're a little on the short side. But the dinette table bed is a little bit longer than the couch, and that's where my stepson's been sleeping. And the overhead one, which we call the bird nest, is where Sharon's been sleeping on this trip. And on the dinette, there's storage under both the dinette seats, and you have to access them by removing the cushions, and then there's a piece of plywood you take out, and there's no doors on the side for access. And there's storage underneath the couch, a pretty good amount of it. And there's extra cushions, and we have pretty good upholstery. It was better than what they made in 2015. There's double stitching, and we did have, when we were at Winnebago, they had put the wrong foam, the wrong cushioning in the seats, so we had that replaced at the Stitchcraft shop right there, the Winnebago factory in Forest City, Iowa. Okay, so I put we're from Alaska, so I put these little Alaskan mini quilts all over the place, and there's one, and there's two there, and it just makes it a little bit more homey. And I use that Scotch 3M double mounting tape, and it can be removed with a dissolve it if you ever decide to do something different. The adhesive can, and I try, and some things I have to perforate the walls to do, but I try and minimize that as much as I can. And there's straps up here in the overhead compartment for the bed, and there's a pretty good sized TV. Like I said, it swivels out. And there's one in the back bed area, and there's a digital receiver antenna, and that thing is incredible. I can pick up over-the-air TV channels from 150 miles away. Right now, where we're camping at Talbot Island State Park, we're picking up about 40 channels over the air, and they're coming in crystal clear, and some of them are in HD. It's so much better than the old analog antenna. You don't have to crank them up, and they're kind of low profile on the roof. And then there's the DVD player. And for 2016, they went to the cabinets that come up and hold rather than swing sideways, which is a better deal in my opinion. They're more solid, and the Winnebago cabinetry is pretty solid anyway. And my stepson has his stuff up there, and over here my stepdaughter has some of her stuff. And I added, I didn't have any cup holders on the table, so I added a couple of cup holders, plastic ones. They kind of use it for boats and stuff, and that works out pretty well, and doesn't interfere with making the table into a bed. And up here, there's no food pantry. In a motorhome that has this much sleeping capacity and this many features, they couldn't get everything in that's in a large motorhome. This motorhome is a 25B. It's 26 feet long. It can sleep 8, but you probably never would sleep 8. Otherwise, going there, you would way exceed your cargo carrying weight capacity in the C350, and it would be pretty tight in here probably. But you could do it. Maybe it'd be all right on a weekend trip. So we've used this area here for our food pantry, canned goods and breads and stuff, the coffee maker. I've got some rack of CDs back there and some coffee. And over here is the kitchen area. Now it doesn't have much in the way of counter space. We did add a sink cover, which I got on eBay, that comes very close to being a perfect fit, good enough for us. And it has a 3-burner stove and an oven, and above here is a microwave, and it has a hood fan and light. And in different places in the motorhome, I added this stretch netting for open cubbies and stuff like that, to keep things from falling out. And we have some things up there, and I put in this rack here where we have our spices. was really made for a bathroom, and I was going to put it in the bathroom, but I thought it'd be really nice to have it for a spice rack. I got that on Amazon, and that paper towel holder on Amazon. That paper towel holder, you have to remove a few things out of there to get the paper towels on, but it does swivel up, and it's ratchet, so with one hand you can take off a paper towel, which is nice. And those are a couple of things I added. Here's a monitoring system, and this one's called True Monitoring. They use some kind of infrared light or something to get a lot of accuracy compared to the old ones. And it monitors black water, gray water, fresh water, and battery and propane. Right there's the lights, and also there's the generator switch, and the generator also has another switch outside. And there's the thermostat. And one thing I like about that thermostat is on our old motorhome, the air conditioning, once you turned it on, there was no cutting off the fan, but this has a intermittent mode where you can set the air conditioning, and when it's satisfied, the fan will cut off so you don't have to hear it. Or if you choose, you can have continuous fan. And also there's the switches for the heat, and above there is the holding tank heaters. And we've actually kept in this in Alaska down to 12 degrees and not have any freeze ups. And they keep the freshwater tank underneath that bed, so it's actually in the heated space, so you can winter camp in that. And I don't know how low a temperature you could camp in it until you had to worry about winterizing the water. So I don't know. Up here is where I put some more of that stretch netting, and we keep our atlas up there, binoculars, flashlight, ball cap, and a bunch of brochures. And here's the refrigerator, and it's pretty good size for a smaller RV, and got frozen goods up there. The ice cream bars keep better hardened on the bottom, so we got some Klondike bars on the bottom there, which you can't see right now because it's. And here's a refrigerator part, and not much to say about that. It's a Norcold refrigerator, and it does a pretty good job of keeping things cold, and it hasn't given us any problems yet. We keep the dog dishes down there for slippers. There's a little stool because the bed is actually a little high to accommodate that vast storage underneath. And there's the inverter for the electrical with all the fuses. Down there is a propane detector, a CO2 detector, and we have 2 smoke detectors. And the stairwell there, that panel you're looking at on the camera, comes out, and it'll allow you to access 2 12-volt batteries where the coach batteries are, and then it has an extra battery for the chassis. And the switch, there's a switch up there in the cab where if your chassis battery goes dead, you can flip that switch and start the RV with the coach batteries. And of course it's got a screen door, and there's the fire extinguisher and the switches for the awning, and the LED light bar for the awning, and another one for battery disconnect. And with all the electronics, it's a good idea to use the battery disconnect if you're going to let your RV sit for a while and not be used, and then your batteries will stay better charged when you need to use it, when you go to use it. And this is the bed that my wife and I are sleeping on. And over here is a shirt closet, and off the side there I keep my laptop. And we've been sharing my laptop, Lena and I, but she's got one up there in that cabinet, and there's another shelf below there, and there's another TV here, and then there's a window there, and that's also the emergency escape exit up in there. And I'll climb up here and show you this cabinet. Oh, and there's 2 USB jacks there, which is, they work all the time whether you're on shore power or using your batteries, so that's real handy for charging your cell phones and whatnot. And this is a pretty deep cabinet. My stuff's on that left side and Willie's stuff's on that side. The beds are comfortable. This one's a double, and the one over the cab is a queen. And not much to say about that, I guess. If you lift that mattress, there's a hole in the platform which you can access your water pump and do your winterization. It doesn't come with a winterization kit for using antifreeze, so you have to add one to it unless you get a certain package for the RV. And I prefer to use antifreeze rather than the old compressed air method that some people prefer to use. It's just my choice because I can do it quicker if we're on the road, and it's faster for me, and I'm really confident that nothing's gonna freeze. And the plumbing does come with PEX plumbing, so even if it froze, it's not gonna be as vulnerable as copper piping. The PEX expands a little bit. And here's one of the drawers, and we got our silverware in there and coffee filters, and we have some bigger utensils in there. And in this cabinet we keep our trash and our drain pan and some cleaning supplies. And over here is a coat closet, and we keep our broom and our Swifter mop in there, and our first aid kit and the motorhome manuals. And I bought a broom that the head comes off. It's for easier storage in there, and it clicks right back on. And down under here I've got 2 plastic containers which I divide this up, and we got various things. I'm keeping some miscellaneous stuff in there, and Wayne is keeping whatever she wants to keep in there. And so then the drawer underneath, which is a little bigger, I got 2 more plastic containers, and I got my underwear in one, and Wileen's got nightgowns and whatever she wants in one, and then we have our garbage bags and baggies, glad bags and stuff. And on the bathroom door, we have a little thing where we can keep our Walmart bags or whatever bags we got that we need to use for picking up behind the dog. And we got 3 vents in the motorhome. There's one down there and one up here, and I added some covers so you can open them, covers over the covers, so I forget what they're called, but you can open them when it's raining or going down the highway without worrying about rain getting in or having a problem with wind. And this is the bathroom, and it's got a glass shower door which works okay. We thought it'd get a lot dirtier quicker, but it didn't, and so it's not that hard to clean. And it's not a real big bathroom, but it's got everything we need. And there's a little latch there on the shower door for when you're going down the highway to keep the door from coming open. And then there's a skylight in the shower area, and a couple of holders there for soaps and stuff. And I'll close that back up. And there's hooks there that'll hold up to 4 towels, and so that works out perfect since there's 4 of us on this trip. And I added his and hers glass holder I got off Amazon .com, and okay, the camera can only go 30 minutes, then it stops, so I'll have to stitch the clips together. I made a shelf extender out of King Starbird polymer, and some hinges. I got the hinges on Amazon, and the material for the shelf I got on eBay, and I cut it with a jigsaw and used the sink as a template. And that's because the counter's so small. Now we have extra space for setting things when we're getting ready to go to bed or when we get up. And then there's a cabinet under here, and I put 2 containers that I got at Target down there, and so they're stacked so it'll hold more. And there's our toilet chemicals down there, and there's a view of the floor. It's vinyl throughout, which is what they're doing mostly now rather than carpeting, and that really is the way to go when you're in an RV and you're having a lot of dirt coming in. It's a lot easier to sweep and get up with a broom and a Swifter mop than to have to run a vacuum and deal with stains on carpeting. And this is a bathroom cabinet, and I added some more stretch netting that I got from Obi Company from Elkhart, Indiana. I bought it online, and it comes in different sizes, and I bought the sizes I needed. And I keep my stuff up there, and then there's miscellaneous stuff here, some of Willeen's stuff and Craig and Sharon's stuff, and you could actually add some extra shelves in here because they're spaced out pretty wide if you wanted to. And I'll close that up, and there's a towel bar for your hands, and we keep a little trash can alongside the toilet. And the toilet is controlled with a foot flusher. You push down the pedal on the side to flush it. So and there's a light switch in here, and all the lights inside are LED, and the air conditioning is ducted, so you can open and close ducts wherever you need to for different people inside that are either going to be hotter or colder than the other people. And there's another view of the floor. And just on this trip, we found we were having a lot of shoes piling up, because with all the sand on the beaches and stuff, shoes were piling up on the floor. And I added a shoe bag, and I use hooks. I guess they call them, what are they called? Command hooks, where they use 3M double-sided tape to install them. Each hook is, on this case, is good for 3 pounds, so that 4 of them, that's good for about 12 pounds. Now, I'm not a big fan of having command hooks all over an RV like I've seen some people do. It just looks kind of cluttered. But if it's a well placed, absolutely needed application, I'll go ahead and do it. And so in this motorhome, we got 4 of them. And that shoe bag I've renamed. What have I named it? It's a clever name. It's funny, but I can't think of it right now. Probably because I'm videoing. Well, anyway, I'm sorry about that. Okay, so this almost completes the tour. I'll just show you the back from up here. Oh, and there's the backup camera and monitor, and it's also a satellite radio. And the satellite radio doesn't work in Alaska, but from Whitehorse, Yukon down, you can get the channels in crystal clear. And it's got 2 cup holders for the driver, one big and one large, and There's some compartments there and a cup holder for the passenger. And the motorhome has power windows and power door locks. And I use a Garmin GPS. It's not the motorhome model, but it works well enough. And it's got cruise and tilt. And there's slippers. She might be getting a little warm now. We keep her bed in between our seats there, and down back there between the seat and the couch I keep my tripod. And next, when you have your laptop out, you can actually insert it between that cabinet and the couch for temporary storage and make more room on the couch. And I guess that's about it. I'm not sure if I left anything out. So we've been happy with it so far. Like I said, we've had some warranty issues that had to be fixed, and there's a few more. So the ones remaining is stuff I could probably fix myself, but I'll probably just get them fixed under warranty since we still have it. We like the color of the RV, but to get color matching sealants will probably be a little more expensive, and you have to use planning probably to get them. Anyway, this, oh, I remember the name of the shoe bag that I gave it a pet name. It's Mike's Clodhopper Hotel. And so this concludes the video tour, and hopefully it'll help you make some decisions when you go to buy one. And have a good day. Bye. There's slippers and riding shotgun. Slipper.